It's time for Live on Lanier. Welcome to Live on Lanier, a monthly podcast brought to you by the Lake Lanier Association. The Lake Lanier Association's annual membership celebration is right around the corner, and LLA Executive Director Victoria Clevenger is going to kick off the show by filling us in on this year's event. Be sure your membership is up to date and that you are pre-registered for this year's celebration. Victoria will then introduce us to our two new staff members on the LLA team, Caleigh Dolin and Nancy Brown. With boating season upon us, Captain John Grobe will join us to talk about America's Boating Club, formerly known as the U.S. Power Squadron, which is another great resource for safe boating for all of our members of the LLA. Captain John will also do a second segment as a licensed boat captain and his services on Lake Lanier, and also fill us in on geocaching. To tell you the truth, I'd never heard of geocaches until this interview, but people come from all over the world to find these treasures right here on Lake Lanier. It sounds like a ton of fun for the entire family, so please be sure to stick around for that. Finally, we say thank you, goodbye, and good luck to our former Communications and Membership Coordinator, Jacquelyn Guhl. Please feel free to share this episode with your friends and neighbors who have an interest in Lake Lanier. If you'd like more information on how to join the Lake Lanier Association, please take a moment to scan the code on your screen. You'll be just in time for our annual membership celebration for 2025, so please scan the code or check us out at lakelanier.org. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be right back with Live on Lanier, brought to you by the Lake Lanier Association.
Have you heard the news? We're throwing a party and you're invited, but only if you're an LLA member. Our annual member celebration is coming up on Sunday, April 13th, and this year's event is going to be at the exclusive University Yacht Club. We will have a 1-hour VIP happy hour starting at 3, and the event opens to all members at 4 o'clock. This event will include a Masters viewing party, so if you're a golf fan, no worries, you will not miss anything, as well as business-sponsored displays, free food, including desserts from Nothing Bundt Cakes, cash bar, and a lot of fun by the lake. We hope you will join us to engage in a fun afternoon by the lake with your fellow LLA members. We are very excited to share with you today our new LLA team members. So sitting here with me is Caleigh Dolin, and she joins us as our new Communications and Membership Coordinator. So Caleigh, tell us about yourself.
Okay. So my name is Caleigh. I am joining the LLA team. I've been here for about 3 weeks now. And so far I've been able to meet a lot of our members. I was able to join the boat show, which is a really good experience. And also looking forward to some of our upcoming events, like the annual member celebration. But a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Monroe, Georgia, so a little over an hour from Gainesville. I graduated from the University of Georgia. My major was public relations, and then I also studied business as well. So I'm excited to bring that to the team. Some of my recent work experience has been with a nonprofit organization. I worked with them in college. They were called Aurora at UGA. So they serve children with cancer and their siblings, and it was a really rewarding experience. So I am not new to the nonprofit world. I also have experience in recruiting with another organization at the University of Georgia. And then I also have some digital marketing experience as well. So I'm excited to bring all of that to the table.
Yes, thanks for that introduction. I think everybody watching this can kind of see from that summary that you bring together a lot of experience with nonprofits and then the marketing piece that we're looking for to really take this position and run with it and engage with our members in the Lake community in an exciting way. So we hope everybody watching this or our membership gets a chance to meet Caleigh at the annual member celebration coming up on Sunday, April 13th. But in the meantime, maybe they'll have an opportunity to chat with you over the phone or email, or if you already got a chance to meet her at the boat show, you know what a gem she is and the joy that she brings to our team. So we're really excited for all that's to come. Caleigh is going to be getting married in a few weeks and just is really kind of kicking off a new season of life life between that and a new job, fresh graduation from UGA recently too. So we are excited to be in this chapter of her life and excited to see what she brings to the LLA team.
Thank you, Victoria. I'm very excited to be here. The past 2 weeks have been great, and I'm really excited to get more involved in the community here at the Lake Lanier.
That's exciting. Thank you so much, Caleigh. We are happy you're here.
Thank you.
And now we're excited to introduce you to Nancy Brown, and she joins us in a brand new role as our office assistant. As many of you know, we have a brand new physical footprint here in the Gainesville community that just opened in late 2023. And as such, we've learned that we have a need for having consistent office presence and just helping us maintain this office space. So we're really excited to have Nancy joining us to help make that possible. Before she joined our team, we only had 2 full-time staff, so she joins us as a part-time position to just help us broaden our mission and broaden our accomplishments in order to maintain efficiency and just being able to do everything with a lot of ease. So, Nancy, welcome to the LLA team.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great. We're glad you're here too. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Where to begin? I was born in New Jersey. Grew up in Michigan, and I've been in the Atlanta area since 1986. So it's been a minute. And so I guess you could say I'm an honorary Southerner. Many moons ago, I got my degree in communications and with a concentration in journalism. So I can bring that to the table. Got a great son who's 31, and enjoy helping him with his business and spending time with him.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think one of the things that made us really excited to welcome you to the LLA team is you have prior work experience with United Way, so you understand kind of the ins and outs of how nonprofits operate and how mission critical our work is. And you also have spent a lot of time around Lake Lanier between your son's business and friends and things of that nature. So you also kind of bring a perspective of our membership. You have this point of view that is probably similar to those that boat on the lake or play on the lake, live on the lake. So we were really excited to be able to have your voice here on the team.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's a good point. I actually, my journey started in nonprofit, and kind of took me in a different path into insurance, and just thought it was time to get back into something that I enjoy, and so I'm thrilled to be back in nonprofit, and especially with LLA to help keep our lake clean and safe.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Thank you, Nancy. We're excited that you're here and on our team.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone, for getting to meet our new LLA staff. We hope that you'll have an opportunity to meet them at the annual member celebration coming up on Sunday, April 13th. And in the meantime, if you stop by our office or give us a call or send an email, you may have one of them on the other side of that as well.
Well, welcome to this month's episode of Live on Lanier. We're going to be talking about some safe boating with springtime coming up, and we'd like to welcome John Grobe joining us here today from America's Boating Club. Hi, John. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
We appreciate your coming in.
Happy to be here.
Now, the America's Boating Club is a new name for a group that's been around for a long time, the U.S. Power Squadron.
Correct.
I've been familiar with the Power Squadron since I was a kid and went to one of their classes and was so far over my head, but it gave my dad a chance to get out and have a beer with his buddies, so it all worked out well in the end. But tell us a little bit about the history of the Power Squadron and how it became the America's Boating Club, if you would.
So the Power Squadron, just the name, rebranding, a lot of rebranding going on in the environment today, and rebranding Power Squadron doesn't fit the bill very much. So they went to America's Boating Club. They changed it to America's Boating Club because that really describes what it is. It's a boating club for America.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. And it is literally a nationwide organization.
It is. It truly is.
Well, tell us a little bit about how somebody might find out where to go to get started. If I want to learn more about the club, where do I start after I watch this interview?
You can go to www.americasboatingclub.com.
Okay.
Go on there. You can become a member. All your membership information is on there. Joining, whatnot. And the boating club is really, they offer a lot of things. There's so many things that the boating club can offer. You can join the club as a novice, as a new boater. You can join it, and there's education, so much education. There's so many people in the club that are lifetime boaters. They've been sail boaters, sea-doo people, power boaters, speed boaters, fishing guides. A lot of different, every walk of life in boating is out there, sailboaters. And you can get information. Everybody's wanting to share their information they have.
That's pretty terrific. Mm-hmm. So the education process, it even goes beyond what you can do online?
It does. It goes way beyond that. It goes very in depth. They got a mechanical course, electronics class. They have a lot of different classes for everything that's pertains to boating.
And when you're talking about diversity, you're talking about way beyond just the types of boats. I mean, on Lake Lanier, we go from houseboats all the way down to little sailing dinghies and everything in between. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of diversity in your membership and how they're represented as well. Everyone is welcome is the main point.
Exactly. Yep. Everybody's welcome. And it's exciting because everybody brings so much to the table. You won't get bored talking to you. You know, if you go to a meeting, you won't get bored.
That's
for sure.
That's pretty exciting. And if you were going to go coastal boating for a weekend, you've got a place to go get a little bit of freshened up on something different than what you're used to when you can always see a shoreline.
It's true. And one of the unique things about the club is it's nationwide. So if you hopped in your car today and you drove to California and you took your boat, you didn't take your boat, either way, there's going to be a club in California. You could contact those members. So if you wanted to go for a boat ride, you could potentially go for a boat ride somewhere in California, you know, without having a boat through the club, you know. If anything happens, there's so much support across the nation. It's a really unique club. It truly is.
It'd take a long time to list all the benefits, but are there a few more really key ones that we want to be sure to get out there?
I'd like to point out the thing for me, me and my wife, is we're looking for something that we could do together with the boat. So many groups of boaters out there. You go out and try to find somewhere to hang out and stuff like that. The America's Boating Club, we do a lot of raft ups. Mm-hmm. They did a low country boil last year.
Oh, very cool.
And that's always fun, right? And so there's just always something to do. You can go out with people that you've been knowing, and they all have the same thing in common. They're just boaters, you know? You know who you're hanging out with. You go out and have some fun. It's truly a great club to join.
That's neat that you brought up you and your wife. My wife she loves riding. She loves being along for the ride and happy to let. That's the only thing in our lives I'm allowed to be captain of is when we're on the boat. Everything else, I'm first mate at best. But she can leave the dock with the boat by herself and come and get me if she needs to, which she had to rescue me when I ran out of gas in our little boat many years ago. And she brought the big boat, no problem at all, coming right to me. But it's something you don't think a lot about is making sure you've got that backup plan. You've got that other person that, God forbid, something happened, needs to be able to get you safely back to the dock. You both know how to do that.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, I will just say this between you and me and our friends here on the podcast, wives can learn better from someone that's not their husband.
100%. 100% true. 100% true.
So the American Boating Club is great for families all the way around, including right down to kids that are coming up and really need to learn all the rules some mom and dad might not have thought of when they were teaching.
Exactly. Exactly.
Great. Any other benefits that we missed that we want to be sure to get out there? Because I know there's more than you can mention, but if there's some really big ones, I don't want to leave anything unsaid.
The social side of it. The social side is really fun. There's a saying in the boat club that I came for the education and I stayed for the social club. The education part of it is great. You can learn, there's so many courses you can take, and you can just take a course and not have to be tested on it.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to test on it. Just enjoy the course, you know. The very small fees on it, if any fees on it. But like you said, it's good to have someone else that can drive a boat. If you go out on a boat, it's good to have, you said your wife, you ran out of gas. Simple enough, happens to everybody sooner or later. But there's a backup plan. Always have a backup plan. If you can get somebody else to teach your spouse, because that's the way it works. I do a lot of training, and it's always better if somebody else teaches. But the group, you can get, my wife's not, like you said, your wife, she's not going to drive the boat, but she can if she needs to. And then, so that's important stuff, you know, have somebody else there that can teach. So it's a lot of fun. I suggest coming to, if you're interested, come to a meeting, check everybody out and get to shake some hands, listen to what people are saying, and you'll walk away with a membership.
And the meeting information is on the website, which is
www.americasboatingclub.com.
Americas with an S, boatingclub.com.
Correct.
Okay, super. And now you've got a YouTube channel and information going on there as well?
Yeah, so America's Boating Channel.
Mm-hmm.
America's Boating Channel. If you go on there, it's all kinds of videos on there and stuff like that. So it's just really entertaining to watch some of the stuff because you've seen the things, the boat ramps in Florida and whatnot right there. The guys videotaping all day long. So there's bloopers type thing, you know, or don't do's, poor captaining work, stuff like that. You know. And a lot of training stuff is on there as well. You can watch and learn. So there's a lot to the channel there.
And you are a licensed captain and part of the training and educational component.
I am.
We'll talk more about that in our second segment coming up shortly. But my buddy Frank, who we were talking about when I was at Aqualand, would come every year and do boat safety inspections. All you had to do was pull up to the dock, and he was there with his clipboard and ready to go through that. Is that still part of the American Boating Club?
It is. That's a big part of it. So I'm glad you brought that up. You can bring your boat to a dock somewhere, and somebody from America's Boating Club will come out and they'll inspect your boat for all the safety equipment that the Coast Guard requires you to have. Mm-hmm. So that way you don't find yourself in trouble out there, be it you didn't have the proper safety equipment for the situation, or if DNR stop wanting to talk to you about your safety equipment and you end up with a ticket, you know, saying your life jacket's out of date. All that stuff's really important. It truly is. I've seen so many bad situations out there, emergency situations out there, that you need to have extra life jackets. You need to have good dock lines, fire extinguisher. Multiple fire extinguishers is always best. They require one, but I've seen situations where you need 2 or 3.
And fire extinguishers do go out of date. A lot of people don't think about that, but if you haven't checked the date on yours before this season gets here, it's a perfect time to do that. And the idea of multiple fire extinguishers, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I don't do that myself, but now you've got me thinking about it. That's something we'll add to this summer's itinerary.
Right.
Another one you don't see as much on freshwater lakes, you do in saltwater action, but it's great to have is a throwable life jacket with a rope attached. So if you do find yourself helping somebody, you're not inventing it while you're on the fly. You've got a way to help them and get them up to your stern as quickly and easily as you can.
That's right. Well, especially, you know, this time of the year, if you want to go out boating in the winter months when the water's colder and things like that, man overboard happens.
Yeah.
You know, so if you got a life ring with a rope on it, you're not getting in the water with somebody.
Perfect.
You know, so that's a huge thing on a boat.
So what are the boating safety tips? Have you got a couple you can throw out there with boating season coming up here quickly?
Right of way. Right of way is my favorite.
We talked about that before we started, but I wasn't going to say it.
So it's not just a phrase, right of way. In boating world, if somebody is to your right, they literally have the right of way on you. If everybody would practice that on the lake, right, everything is right. When you go down through the channel, stay to the right side of the channel. When somebody is to your right, crossing, they have the right of way. When you look at the lights on your boat, the green light and the red light, the green light is saying they have the green light to go. You know, the red light means they have to stop. It means you have the right of way because you're to their right. So right of way is always important on the lake. That's a biggie there.
And the further up the streams you get, where they start narrowing up, the more important it becomes. I can't tell you how I just shiver when I see people hugging the wrong shoreline going around the corner because somebody coming from the opposite direction, they're head to head.
Right.
And it shouldn't be that. I always, when I'm working with people, I say, imagine an imaginary line right down the middle. Stay about a third to the right of that line. And
that's exactly what I tell people too.
Is it really?
Just imaginary line, because you relate it to driving. In driving, you have a line in the middle of the road. You stay to the right.
Exactly.
You know, practice that on the water. Just imaginary line right down the middle. This is your side, this is my side. We won't crowd each other that way.
Super. Well, we really appreciate your coming in and educating us on how the Power Squadron is now America's Boating Club. Let me make sure I get the S in there properly. And we're going to do another segment here in just a minute. If you're interested in having a professional licensed captain who's also an instructor getting together with you, we offer those services through John here as well. I don't say we as in the Lake Lanier Association. John offers those services as well. So stick around and we'll talk more about that in just a minute. Well, welcome back for part 2 with my new friend John Grobe. John, thanks for sticking around. I noticed the outfit change, a little bit more bright sunshiny thing going on there.
Yeah.
That's all good. That's all good. As we said in segment 1, John is a licensed captain who also does instruction here on Lake Lanier.
Correct.
Tell us about your business. What are you called and what do you do?
North Georgia Boating Adventures. So, been on the boat, or been on the lake all my life. Been a boater all my life. Granddaddy had a boat and all that stuff. Always loved boating. Been a mechanic, worked as a mechanic. Started getting old, fat, and slow, and decided to get a captain's license. I got a captain's license. Didn't really know what I was going to do with it, but everything has just kind of grown from that. I worked with towboat for a couple of years and learned a lot from that experience. And training. Training's always been a big thing for me. I was working for dealers, people buy boats. I wasn't a sales guy, I was a technician, but the people buy boats, kind of a blind item. They get the boat, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to drive it. They don't know any of the buttons, switches, anything. So I found myself having to orientation for people, you know. And from that, decided I got my captain's license. Got a certified instructor. So I got where I was able to go out and start training people. And so I'm a certified instructor. I teach people how to drive boats, keep people safe on the water. A lot of that stuff. A lot of people buying boats and they just really don't know. They buy the boat and they love it, but they just don't know how to operate it correctly. You know?
Sure.
So I tune them up. You know, get them up to speed. Talk about right of way again. You know, who's got the right new rules of navigation. Get you out on the water and teach you all that stuff. Really do. We spend a couple hours. A lot of different things.
You know, one of the trickier aspects for a new boater is being able to dock safely in varying conditions. Because you can come back to the same dock and the wind's in the opposite direction and it completely changes the strategy of how to get to the dock. Is that something you work on as well?
It truly is. I work with Carefree Boat Club. I do all their training, on water training for them. And David down at Carefree Boat Club, he's got a jingle, away from danger and into the wind. We always want to go away from danger and dock into the wind. So that's one of the things that we preach down there with Carefree Boat Club is paying attention to the wind and the current. We don't have current that much here on Lake Lanier. When you get in the ocean, you do, you know, rivers and stuff like that. But be aware of your surroundings. So that way you can dock correctly. You always want to dock into the current or into the wind. Yeah. You know, because you can overpower either one with the power of the boat. You know, so that's an important thing. But I always say docking is where you earn your money. Docking is the most important thing to boating. The close quarters navigation, being able to be in a marina environment and not hit anybody, that's real important stuff right there. So it's all docking and it's all maneuvering. And it all goes back to the basics. When I get on the boat with you, I'm going to teach you to crawl before you walk. As far as operating the boat, we're going to get really comfortable with everything before we do anything. Before we move the boat, you're going to be comfortable with steering it and shifting it. You know.
Well, especially for new boaters, you don't realize until you're docking for the first time, it doesn't operate like a car. You can't exactly just step on the brake and start over again. What's in motion stays in motion until something takes it out of that motion. And I had my own experience switching from fiberglass V-hull boats to a pontoon. Got that little dent on the front where it didn't quite glide the way that I thought it should. You know, my boat salesman points and laughs at that and winks at me every time he sees me. But they're all a little bit different, a little bit unique, and they all can be learned. That's the important thing.
That's the important thing. And a lot of times the techniques that you use are across the board. If you're in a single engine boat to a triple engine boat, the techniques are a lot the same. They're different, you know, but still the same. Everything still applies the same. So it's learning those techniques. So learning to crawl before you walk is the big thing.
Another really strong idea in all of this, in my opinion, is doing that before you have the big gang out or before the whole family comes to go for the first boat ride.
100%. And I think that's where the phrase, the 2 best days of a man's life comes from. The day he buys and the day he sells it. And I think what happens is you get the boat and you're all excited about it and you get the gang out on the boat and then you scare everybody on the boat. Well, nobody wants to come out with you again because they got terrified that what you almost hit or killed or whatever you did hit. I've seen a lot of accidents out on the water and they're 100% preventable. So yeah, that's exactly right. Get comfortable, confident with the boat before you take anybody out. And that also, I'm sorry, it changes everything too, because when you get the big gang on the boat, it's louder, the radio's going, there's more distractions, a lot of other things going on. So you need to be comfortable and confident with just yourself on the boat before you get everybody out there. An accident may happen and everything's going to change again, you know. So get comfortable and confident by yourself.
This may just be something of age, but I've been boating my entire life, and I still, when I come to the dock, I ask everybody to settle down, and I turn the radio down, and I like to be in my little zone, you know. I just need to be focused, and everybody stay still, and in a few minutes we'll be there, and it'll be fine.
That's one of the things I tell everybody is when you go to dock and tell everybody about it, sit down, shut up, and don't touch nothing. If I need you to help, I'm going to say, Bobby, do this. Sally, do that.
Yeah.
But don't grab, don't just sit down. Just sit down, shut up, and don't touch nothing.
Yep, I'll let you know if I need anything. By the way, our favorite slogan is boating is not a matter of life or death. It's much more important than that.
That's right.
So what is geocaching? Geocaching. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Tell us about geocaching. This is a cool story, folks. You'll like this.
So geocaching is a worldwide treasure hunt. It's there's millions of geocaches all over the world. It just so happens that Lake Lanier is home of one of the oldest geocaches in the world, and my estimate is over 300 caches out there on the lake. Wow, on the islands out there. And basically what it is a geocache it could be a ammo can, something as big as a 5-gallon bucket. Ammo can, something as small as a little Coke bottle or a tube of some sort, you know. A lot of different things, but the bottom line is a scroll of paper, a notepad, something like that.
Treasure map,
yeah.
Cool.
And you go to a specific location, you find it, and this is where it really gets simple. Is you find it, you'll use there's an app for it, so use your electronics device. You go to the geocache, you find it, you write in the notepad that you found it, you put the date on it, take a picture of it, you log it on the app, you leave it where it's at, and you move on to the next one. You don't really get anything. You say that you found it, you got the find, and that's the thrill of it.
Oh, cool.
Find.
Sounds like something my grandkids and I could have a lot of fun with.
Oh, kids love it. Kids
Yeah?
love it. Running through the woods trying to find a little treasure. Kids love
That's
it.
great.
Absolutely love it. I get people from all over the world on my boat. And when I say, so what's important on Lake Lanier is a geocache called Marooned. It's GC20. When they started with geocaching, and in the beginning of it was in, 1999, the government freed up satellites for public use. And so then this game was born. You could use a handheld device to be able to find a pinpoint exact.
GPS, yeah.
Yeah. And so then somebody had the presence of mind. They put a cache out on one of the islands out there, and GC20 Marooned. And so people come inside geocaching. So that's when geocaching was born. All right, so you want to find the oldest ones. The oldest ones are the important ones, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to find one that was just put out last week. You want one that's put out in 1999 or 2000.
Yeah.
And there's games inside geocaching world. There's like alphabet games, date games. There's all kinds of games. I don't even know half of them yet. But it's very interesting that people get into it. And I literally get people from all over the world.
That's
get on
cool.
my boat, and I take them out and drop them off on an island so they can run up the hill and find the cache.
And we get to do it for free just because we're right here on Lake Lanier, right?
Right.
Well, listen, if they want to learn more about geocaching or, more importantly, any of these boating safety tips, instructions, how to work with you personally, where do they go about finding you?
ngaboating.com, North Georgia Boating Adventures. That's me. That's my logo. We do training. We do charters. We haven't really talked about charters, but I do charters for people. Sometimes I'll drive people's boats for them. They just want to be responsible. Mm-hmm. And so I'll go out. They want to take the family out. They don't want the headache of dealing with the boat, docking the boat, running the boat, anything like that. They just want a special day on the water. And so I'll take people out. Let them do whatever they want to do, you know. Their boat, rental boats. I do a lot with the rental fleets on here and Altoona. I got some captains that work with me. We go to the marinas, all the marinas that have rental fleets. People want to rent a boat, but they don't know how to drive it. I applaud them for reaching out to me, you know. Mm-hmm. They say, hey, I don't know how to drive this thing, but I want to have fun. So they hire us. We take them out, and they have a good time. We keep them safe on the water, get them back on time, don't get lost.
Mm-hmm. You know, interesting to drop in here. The driving under the influence laws on land are the exact same on the water, and the percentages are the same. So if you're planning a party or event or family or friends or whatever it might be, and you plan on having a cold one while you're out there, It's a good idea to have a professional designated driver.
Responsible boating.
There you go.
Responsible boating.
We're all for it. Tell them one more time how to find you.
North Georgia Boating Adventures. It's ngaboating.com. Give us a shout.
John, we appreciate you joining us. Looking forward to a safe year on Lake Lanier.
Yes, sir. Me too. Great being here. It truly was.
Super. Well, we'll be back with more Live on Lanier right after this.
Lake Lanier Association strives to keep Lake Lanier safe for the 12 million people who use it for recreational enjoyment each year. We promote safe boating through our installation and maintenance of 300 solar lights on Lanier for safer boating after dark, and with our life jacket learner stations and promoting safety courses. The Lake Lanier Association is committed to educate and protect all who visit the lake each year. Learn more about the work of the Lake Lanier Association at lakelanier.org.
Well, we have a very special guest joining us for just a moment here, and I've got to tell you, we didn't warn her in advance. So I really appreciate your coming on camera with us, Jacquelyn. For the last year or so, we've had the pleasure of having Jacquelyn Guhl with us on the staff here for the Lake Lanier Association as our communications and membership coordinator, and you've just done an outstanding job. We are so grateful for that.
Thank you.
And we're happy for you, but a little sad for us that now you're going to be moving along in life and leaving the LLA.
Yes, my husband and I were heading to Birmingham. We both went to school there, so we have community, some family members there. But I know it's a bittersweet feeling to step away from the LLA. It's been a very enjoyable experience and great growth for me. So I'm very thankful for my time here.
Well, and we're grateful for everything you've done for us. I mean, the communications out to our membership, to every social media channel and the emails and everything else. Always have been top flight, and we really appreciate
Kirby.
that.
Thank you.
And even though you're going to end up back in Birmingham, you'll always have a place to come visit here on Lake Lanier.
I will. Good, and we're very excited for what's to come.
Well, we wish you nothing but the best in the future. We know you have a heart for service, and we know you have a heart for nonprofits. Yeah. And wouldn't be surprised if we had you back out on the boat one day, just catching up with what's going on in your world.
I might drive back and hop on the LLA boat at some point.
There we go. Well, Jacquelyn, wishing you and your husband nothing but the best.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks for joining us for Live on Lanier, brought to you by the Lake Lanier Association. Please feel free to share this podcast with your lake friends and neighbors. All previous episodes and even more lake-related videos are available on the Lake Lanier Association YouTube channel. We'd love to have your support as a member of the LLA. For more information on how to join and our various programs, just go to lakelanier.org. That's lakelanier.org. Be sure to join us next month for Live on Lanier.